Good evening, good evening. Wake up, wake up. You're already awake. You've been awake. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good mid afternoon, good mid morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Love you so much, Rule. Thank you for the like. Still in, I don't know if you guys were here yesterday, but I'm in the hospital. I'm still in the hospital. Um, Hello, hi. How are you? God bless you. Love you so natural. Man, that's something that you ask somebody you're dating. Can you say my name? What do I need to say your okay, I'm not even gonna respond to you. But anyway, hello. God bless you. Love you so much. Your My name is Omni Cosmic, and I am in the house. You already know. And like I said, like I always say, read the Bible, learn the Bible, follow Christ. Don't follow religion. Religion is just a murder machine. So follow Jesus Christ. Do not follow other people. They will lead you right into the pits of the mouth of the serpent. So keep out of that. If you want to, if you should want to. But I've been watching what I've been watching today. Today I've been watching just been watching TV. Haven't been doing I had surgery this morning. It was invasive surgery, basically like like to take images of my insides. So I am I don't know if I still have to stay or I can go home, but what's up? So that's the deal. I'm alright, man. I'm alright. I had a had had surgery done. So right now I'm but I did split screen and every time I do split screen, every time I do split screen I lose the option to see your comments and all that stuff. But here it is, there's outside. So basically, there's been no good outcome for me being here. I mean, the only good outcome is that I came here and they let me know what was going on. So now I'm able to, with the doctors, make decisions about what we're gonna do next. So I'm just waiting for them. It's getting kind of late already. It's 6 o'clock in the evening over here. So basically, like time to be home or for the night owls to come out. Like we're in that time. Sun's still not going down. But I'm here waiting for them to tell me something. Well, the next move that I can make, right? Because I'm just sitting waiting. I've been here since Thursday. It seems like a long time. I've been thinking about this movie that I watched that caused me a lot of weird dreams. It's called Sleepers. So if you ever get a chance to watch that movie, that's on the Tubi channel. Tubi, T-U-B as in boy, I, Tubi. If you're saying anything or you're trying to converse with me, I can't because I can't see the comments. Sorry about that. Split screen's still not working, and I don't know how to bring those options up. I can see your comments now. I just had to do something funny. Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry about that. So I was just saying my situation. Um, Gotta wait for the doctors. Although they did come in and tell me something early, I just don't remember what it was. I've been sleeping all day, which I do not like sleeping all day. I don't like sleeping all day. It makes me feel not good. Makes me feel like lazy. I'm not that. I'm not the. But I have to because I'm in the hospital taking medication. So let me flip the screen. I can flip the screen now. Check it out. So this is my view right now. There's like a little park down there. Pretty sure it's for patients. And there's the Claremont water tower right there. See it? It says Claremont on it. But I'm just waiting for them to tell me what I can do. So I got some surgeries coming up. They have to be done. If not, I'm gonna kick the bucket. So gotta wait and see what they say. But how you all doing out there? Having a good day? I hope you are having a great day with your friends and family, with yourself, either which way, doesn't matter, with the internet, with Father God. Haven't been doing my the morning surrender and the prayers because I've been going through this medical stuff, so I have to take care of that stuff first. So this morning I woke up, they took me down to the surgery room, they knocked me out, did their invasive search. I woke up, then they brought me back to the room. Been in the room since about 9:30 or 10 this morning, just watching TV, in and out of sleep, talking to my family and my friends, letting them know what's going on, because they want to know. Why are you in the hospital, man? What happened? I don't think I've ever really. I don't think I was that close to someone to visit someone in the hospital in my whole life. But the world has better things to do. Right now, I'm under the AC and I'm looking outside. I don't know if anybody that comes on here or happens to scroll by lived in the states where there are 4 seasons. So I'm saying this to see if you can relate on an early winter morning where your house is, wherever you live, your windows and your walls are cold because it's winter, and you make something hot like coffee, and it's a Saturday morning, early Saturday morning. Nobody's around because it's cold. Everybody's inside. You get close to the window, but you don't get next to the window because it's too cold, right? You get your coffee. Your coffee's made. You put your milk and sugar, or creamer, and it's Saturday. You got stuff to do, but it's too early to do things because nobody's up. Everything's closed. Because back then they used to close stuff. Things weren't open 24 hours a day. Like stores would be closed early in the morning. So you had to wait. I think stores then opened at 8. And when I say stores, I mean like local local stores, like local supermarkets that were owned by families. So I think I would sit there, I would sit there drinking coffee, waiting for everything to open. And while I was doing that, I was making breakfast, walking around with coffee, getting ready to go out and do things, pay bills, basically. Because now you can pay your bills online. Everything's online. But back then you had to go out. You had to go you had to go to the store to pay your bill. You had to go to the bank. If you had your bills that were mailed to you, you would have to sit down or write a check. I don't know if you guys ever haven't done that, writing a check. Write a check, payable to, you sign it, you put in the amount numerically, and you write it out. You put the check in the bill envelope with the bill, you sign the bill, you put the amount, and then you take a stamp, you lick the stamp, you put it on the back of the envelope. In the back of the envelope is already has the payer's address. So all you had to do was put your address. And sometimes you did. Yeah, most of the time you had to put your address because they started putting your address and their address. But before, you used to have to put your own address as a return address. And then you would do all that. You have a collection of mail, of bills. So your light bill, say you would have cable. I think they had cable. Yeah, they had cable. We had cable. There was no cell phones. So other bills like credit cards. So you would gather all those things, drink your coffee. While you're drinking your coffee, you would put on, your clothes, your long johns. You'd put on long john shirt. You'd put on a sweater. You'd put on long johns, and then you put on your socks first, like maybe 2 pair of socks. You put on your long johns over those. Then you put on your jeans, and then you throw on your boots. Then you get a leather jacket or a big parka, goose down parka. You put it on. You put the scarf on first. I think you put the scarf on first. Then you put the hoodie on. If you wear a hat like I do, you put the hat on. I mean, you were bundled up to the T. And the sun's out. It's hot, but the sun's out, but it's really cold. Like there's snow. Really nice. And then you gather your bills because you're gonna go down to the post office, or you're gonna go outside to the mailbox and put it in the mailbox. So you would gather those, put them in your pocket or your bag. I usually just, because I had a big parka, big winter coat. So I put it in the pockets, put on my gloves, of course. Then I get whatever I need, like a pen, because you would go some places like make money orders. If you had like furniture that you purchased from a furniture place that does like rent to own, like Rent-A-Center. Hey, Iran, hello, hi. Just talking about some winter experiences here in America. God bless you. And you would go out and walk around and pay your bills. So, back then there were some stores, some local stores that were owned by folks that you can borrow food. So they would put you on a list, and if you didn't have the money, I'm doing good, thank you. You would borrow the food. So they would make like a little list of what you owe. Like you get some milk, eggs, like simple stuff. And then so what you would do when you would pay your bills, you walk around and you'd go to each establishment and you pay your bill. So it was really neat. It was a good time because you had to go out, and then you saw people in the neighborhood that you knew. You would say hello. Then you would, so I would say you'd be out there like about 10. Then midday, you probably grab some lunch from a local restaurant, and the food was not expensive. You wouldn't say, man, this is expensive. I don't know what you're saying there. I don't know what that means. I'm talking about something. I'm not talking about Iran. So so I would go to like a mall, right? Malls were popular back then. And they would just start opening, they would start cleaning, see the cleaners cleaning up and serving food. And then what you would do is you would order lunch, right? You get yourself a little simple lunch. You take off all the stuff you put on. You take off the scarf, you take off the hat, the hoodie, the big jacket. You made sure that you had the bills that you would just recently wrote out, that you put them in the mailbox, which is the first thing you would do. You were full of snow. It was cold. So you order like some lunch, and then you see people from the neighborhood. Hey, what's up, man? Hello, hi. Some families doing the same thing that you were doing. They were walking around paying bills to the local vendors, to the local stores that they borrowed from or whatever. It was nice. So you had a full day of going out, and I love my country. Do you love your country? I love the United States. Do you love your country? That's the question that you should ask yourself. I don't even know why you're asking me that. I'm not from Iran. Propagandist. We got a propagandist in the house. Javad Saghedi, whatever, however you say his name. Say hello. Hi. So, and then, and so Saturday went on, right? It was really cold. And then, so, you eat your lunch, then you put your clothes back on. You put all your clothes back on, your hat, your hoodie, your scarf. You zip up your big winter coat. And then you look outside, you say bye to everybody. Bye. Have a good day. And then either if you had hair, you would either go to the local shop, get a haircut, if you had hair, and it was already full, so you got to get there early. The sun's out, it's cold, right? There's snow on the ground, but it's really cold. So you're walking around and, doing your thing. But you don't do that nowadays. You just go online, go to your phone, pay your bill, and then you have nothing to do. Or if you do, you get extra stuff to do, or you work. Right now, I should have been at work today. I don't even know what time it is. So, for me, it just seems like an empty space where you can worship God. Today's Sabbath, right? Hello.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
So far, so good.
That's my nurse.
Yeah, here.
Okay, she's gone. So I was just thinking about that. So that's what it feels like right now. It has that kind of feeling, even though I haven't gone out and done anything. It feels like that's what I should be doing. Even though it's like, what time is it? I don't even know. Over here, it's like 6 o'clock right now. So it just feels like that because it's sunny outside and I'm underneath the AC duct. So kind of nostalgic feeling. So anyway, I'm not at the beach today, which is where I am normally. I'll be on the beach right now, walking around, talking crap on YouTube. Not crap, but I'm talking about Father God, Jesus Christ loves you. Gotta brush my teeth. I haven't been able to brush my teeth the last couple of days because I've been in this place sleeping all day. But that's what I gotta get. Hopefully, I can get one soon. A toothbrush. I should have brought mine. I didn't bring it. I was kind of in a rush because I was in pain, so I wanted to get here as fast as possible on my own. And I don't even know if my car's gonna be out there. I gotta check because I parked in the outpatient section. And you don't know to, you don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't know to ask. I just get up and go and do things because asking takes time, and then you don't want to take too much time out of an emergency that you gotta take care of yourself. But it just feels like that. It feels like a winter morning. So strange. Yeah, what's up, Reroll? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, man, I'm in the hospital again. Got some medical issues I need to take care of, so I don't know if I'm gonna be going home today. I don't think so. Been here since Thursday. So just wanted to come on and say hello. You were? How you doing? Hope you're doing better. You only have one more night. Where? Oh, in the hospital? You still there? Oh, on your first shift? A day and a half. On your overnight job. Oh, it's your last day? One more night. Okay, got you. Yeah, this is the second time. The first time I was here for like 4 hours, right? Yeah, then they sent me home. I was home for like a day or two. And then I came back. Well, good for you if that's a good thing. Your overnight job. 12 years? Good for you though. That's a long tenure. 12 years. Wow. Okay. That's a long time, man. But good for you though. You happy about that? That you're going on day shift? It's different though. Day shift is different, right? You deal with different folks. Do you deal with people? I'm just looking outside. Looks real nice. I used to be curious about some weird stuff. Like I would be curious. You see that tower right there on the edge of the building? See how if I would be walking by, I don't know if I'm weird. I would always think like, who's up there? Who's up there? Is there anybody up there? Okay, yeah, man. That's a good. I always wondered about toll collectors. My first time meeting one. That's awesome, man. Good for you. 12 years is a long time. Toll collecting, yeah, that's not an easy job. Well, good for you, man. That's great. So it's gonna. Is it? So you don't know if it's gonna be more busy. Well, it should be more busy because it's the daytime, right? So you have more interaction. Nice. Good for you. That's good. I mean, it looks nice and cool outside, but it's really hot, I'm pretty sure. So I always tell people being in Florida is nice when you have air conditioning. If you don't have air conditioning, which you would, right? You would, because everybody has it. I mean, the only people that you see out, yeah, it does dies off. So early in the morning, right? Early in the morning, it's super busy. Yeah. It sounds like fun though. You don't get to talk to people, get to do things, right? Sounds like fun. Hopefully nothing crazy happens, but if it does, it's all good because you have something extra to do. Yeah, man, I know. And AC is not good for you. AC, air conditioning, the way it's processed, it is not good for you. I don't like it. I don't because it makes me cough, but it's essential. We do need it, but it's not a good thing to have. And I know a lot of people from different countries that don't like AC. They'd rather and their bodies are built for the heat, right? Their bodies are built for the winter because they do it naturally. Now we would naturally adjust, but being that we're in the AC all day, that's why we get sick a lot. The AC it kind of like lowers your defenses. So when you go outside, you get sick real easily. So AC's it's convenient, but it's not a good thing. It's better to get used to the heat and find a better way of cooling down. Like maybe drinking water or with a fan, like a regular fan. But that AC stuff, it's no joke. It's not good for. It's not good. It's not good for your health. Pretty sure there's some reports out there about it, but I feel it all the time. I go into the AC. I go outside. It's hot. My body overheats. I begin to I was gonna say percolate. I've been to percolate early. I've been to perspirate early, and a lot. So that's a sign. Like you should be adjusting. You should be able to adjust to the weather. But it's not the way it is. It's a crazy world. Yeah, I remember going through tolls when I was in the city. I used to go through tolls. Yeah, that's true. Nah, people in those countries are the richest people. Because if you can live off the land and nobody's charging you to live on your own land, you're rich. But I believe that. Like if you have your own cows, you have your own animals, that's rich. Paying other people to live, that's not rich. That's poor. So that's people got it the other way around. I was watching a series about the Galapagos, how those people live. That's beautiful to me. Few and far in between, but they got people that live around them that specialize in certain animals, certain flowers, right? Certain growing certain things. That's how you're supposed to live. You're supposed to live in a building that's closed off with air conditioning, paying somebody else to live. That's insane. It's insane. You should be able to go out every day with your family, gather food, grow food, manage your animals, your crops, save them for the winter. That's how you're supposed to live. That's rich. Yeah, I know. Those are the people who are wealthy. The people who live off the planet, off the earth, off of their own land, they don't have to pay another person that came and took their land and charging them to live on their own land. That's insane. That's insane. That's how I look at it. Being wealthy is having your own land, being able to cultivate your own land to share with others and others share with you. And everybody will be good. But everybody wants all this fake stuff. All this stuff is fake, man. You go out in Florida, like I know you go out in Florida in the daytime without music in your car, without a car, and go walk around and see how real that life is. People can't survive that. All right. Yeah, I'm interested. That'll be great. We could do that. Send me an invite. Yeah, so I got a chance to do that when I was living in Puerto Rico. I got a chance to wake up early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, with my father to feed the chickens, to tend to the hogs, like clean them, feed them, clean the troughs. I got a chance to do that. All right, cool. Sounds good. I got a chance to do that, and I loved it. It was hard work, believe me. But by the middle of the day, like 12, you were ready for lunch. You were definitely ready for lunch. So while you worked, you had someone. Usually it's the wife or the companion, whatever. She's work. She's helping too. She's putting things away. She's gathering things, putting things in packages, putting things in the cabinets. Like I remember, we're cleaning up, tending to. We had horses. He had horses too, so we were tending to the horses. Take him out for a walk. It was. I was learning. He had crops. This is in Puerto Rico. I was young, and he would tend to the crops. He would pick them. He would put them in a basket, harvest, I suppose that's called. I didn't know what it was. He would pull out the bad ones, put the new ones in, and we would do this every single day. Every day. Like I was getting used to it. He had no electricity. They didn't have electricity. They didn't have any. Listen, at first it was difficult, but I wasn't alive that long. I was like 10, so I hadn't been one of those kids that were entitled to have everything that they had. I mean, we had everything. My mom was a hard worker. She had 5 kids. She worked hard. We had everything we needed, and she did it on her own. She was beaten by our fathers. She was treated bad. She was abused. She had to go to homes. She had to let us go so that she can get together and get us back. Yeah, my mom went through a lot. So she sent me to Puerto Rico. When I went through that, I really appreciated how wealthy you can be off the land. And we ate food. We had rice. I mean, the right, like, so we would barter. My father would grow. He was growing like seed, like some kind of bean seeds or something. I don't remember what the name of their other were, but they had all their own herbs. They would harvest. We would harvest them. We would package them, and then we would trade with the locals, which were all our cousins. Somebody was good at doing papayas, doing papaya juice. So they had a couple of papaya trees. And it's not like you couldn't go out there and grab your own, because you could. You didn't have to pay anybody to package it. You could just go out there, pick them up off the ground, literally, and nobody would yell and want to shoot you because it belonged to them, because everybody would share. So we would go out there, gather that stuff. We would take the horses out to the beach, because the beach was right there. We lived right by the beach. Take the horses out, walk them, clean them. I always learned how to clean their hooves. I used to be afraid of horses. Wipe down their manes and clean them and feed them. Because we would. Yeah, it was so much. Listen, I used to get sick. I used to sit in papaya trees, baricha trees. I don't know. They're not papaya trees. They're baricha. They're like a fruit with a lot of seeds in them, but real soft and very sweet. I used to sit in those trees. I used to get sick because I used to eat that all day. But then, and listen to this. Listen to how gorgeous this is. So we had land mammals, but the ocean was right there. So guess what we ate mostly all the time? Fish. We would go clean up the stalls and do all that stuff one day. And they would get extremely dirty. Like those things, you had hours and hours to clean it. But then we would have fishermen that lived that were our family that are still there, that they would teach my cousins basically and their uncles. They would go out to the sea, which was right there, fish a lot of fish, and they would come in and then we would clean the fish. Yeah, so we would clean the fish. We would either put the fish in salt, right? So it would be like salty fish, bacalao is what we call it. We would put others in cans. They had like a can maker. Man, we had everything that we needed. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have any toilets. What we had was a big hole in the ground that would be cleaned by someone. So it would be designated someone to clean that everybody used. Or we had a couple of holes in the ground. They're called letrinas, latrines. And I experienced that. Showers, we would boil water, distill it, save the water. We have buckets of water and use that to take to shower. Electricity at night, you know what it was? Candles. There was one electrical pole in the entire town, and everybody would plug to that pole if needed. Yeah, they would preserve. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you. They would preserve food. My grandfather had a store where he would sell food. So he had vendors from different towns. So my father, in the morning you get the deliveries from different towns with what they knew how to make. So we specialized in some kind of rice that we would make and sell it in packages and package it with things that we bought from vendors, from warehouses that were located that we can walk to. Hey, let me get 2 pounds of flour. Hey, let me get 2 pounds of sugar, like that. Yeah. I mean, we used money, right? But yeah, the soft light was great. We used money, but not much. We would have things that they asked for, like we would make certain juices or pounds of juices, and we would sell it. We would make yeah, it was interesting. It was great. I felt rich. I felt honestly, I didn't have to pay anybody anything, but I always had what I needed, and didn't have any worries about I gotta pay so and so. There were certain things that you have to pay for, like propane gas. Yeah, salt is super valuable. It is very, very valuable. So we would have to pay for like propane gas, which was pennies back then. They'll bring you two big tanks. You put them in. You learn how to do this stuff. You put them in the bag. You learn how to prepare them. Everybody had when the stoves were they were gas. They were propane. They weren't electrical because there wasn't electricity. So it was fun. I felt like I was wealthy. My dad still has land over there, but Puerto Rico's being gentrified or whatever they call it, right? Yeah, they're gentrifying it. They're taking people's property with no. Listen, it is wild. Like if people were, yeah, I got people that I know, my cousins even, that their property's being taken. Yeah, so you know, you can send it. That's a good question. Um, you can send it here. You can send it to this channel because I got so many emails right now. I don't remember the. But you can send it to this channel. Hello. I gotta go. One love, love you so. You already know Jesus Christ loves you. Talk to you later.